Ooh, who's been playing with my dials? I was like, why is there no sound? Oh, the sweats come on. Welcome back to Paris, France, Simon. You're going to have a hard weekend. No, but for now, everything's going fine. It was just there was no sound coming through, and it's because somebody's turned down my main mix for some reason. God knows how. It was working early this morning. So yeah, welcome to Paris, France for the System Open Series for 2018, the last event to be held in Europe. Let's get the timer up on the screen up to date. And 15. There we go. It's about 30 seconds, 30 seconds fast, but that'll do. So we're joined by Eddy Dubos from Brest in France. He's playing on your left side of the table on the red bases. He's playing, that needs to be synced. Why is that not synced? There we go. Poe Dameron with Intensity, BB-8, Prime Thrusters, Auto Thrusters, Black 1, and Dash Render with Expertise, Heavy Laser Cannon, Ray, Scavenger Crane, Smuggling Compartment, Countermeasures, and Outrider title. On the right side of the table, on the yellow bases, we've got Nick Pernal, who's come all the way from Ottawa, Canada, to join us for the System Open Series. He's playing Lorik with Predator, Ray, and Tactician. Nora Wexley with Carl Catan, Push the Limit, Engine Upgrade, R2-D2 Alliance Overhaul, and Ezra Bridger with Hirasundula, Snapshot, and R3A2. So a pretty heavy stress bet meta on the right side of the table there. Thank you for joining us. We'll be in chat shortly. I'm going to quickly get a drink before things get too heated in this game. But yeah, this is it. We've got just under 300 players. I think there was a couple of last-minute drops or no-shows. And everything's just getting underway now. So we'll be back with you shortly.
De l'avant avec Lorik, focus. Et avec Nora. Focus, push the limit. Okay, et je vais faire un boost. J'ai appelé un juge, ça fait à peine 2 minutes qu'on commence. Ok, alors combat, non, un peu trop éloigné, alors je remets mon focus sur Ray.
Pareil.
Oui.
Okay, welcome back. So I got my drink and I'm all ready to go. Looks like they've set up for a jousting position. Disconnect my portable keyboard so I can switch cameras easier. And everything's looking awesome. I'm just coming into chat now. Let me see if you guys are seeing the same as I'm seeing and everything looks good.
Reinforce.
What I hadn't done is update the stuff in Twitch to say Paris instead of Bologna. This is the bane of my existence.
Deux de l'avant. OK. Kyle Return, j'ai un focus. Et maintenant, action.
No, why is that saying I'm not live? Live, 46 viewers. Thank you for joining us this morning. Yep, so turn the volume down. Please do join us in the chat. Let me know everything's going fine for you. Looks okay for me. Yeah, looks okay. If the quality is okay, because the TV I've got is pretty poor quality.
Deuxième focus.
It's hot in here. Maybe it's just where I am sat. There's not much ventilation.
Je pense que c'est un peu trop pour Snapchat.
Je pense aussi.
Oui,
C'est le but.
oui, c'est ça.
C'était le but. Pas aller trop loin.
The initiative is taken by JC as well at the beginning of the round.
Oui, c'est ça.
This microphone needs to be turned so it faces me.
Un petit perron.
Un petit tonneau par là, c'est pas mal. Plus je suis loin, mieux je me porte.
So we've got two French players. Well, no, sorry. Nick, being from Canada, is bilingual in French and English, so they're able to communicate perfectly. Eddy Jason did seem to have a little bit of difficulty understanding me when he showed up to the table.
Stress. Je vais faire un boost.
Vector clusters, oui.
Intensité. Je suis pas sûr que ça soit utile, mais c'est jamais.
OK.
Début de la phase de combat.
Début du combat.
Ouais. Est-ce que je... Ouais, je vais faire un contre-mesure.
OK.
Tiens.
Non, trop loin.
So, I'm getting to the first round of combat. Dash drops his countermeasures.
Est-ce qu'il y a quelque chose de spécial pour les dés? As-tu vu Juste lancer les dés sur la table.
2 hits.
Bah vas-y, tu peux déjà.
2, portée 3 contre le jeu. On va concentrer.
Looks like 2 focus results. 3 focus results. Spins the focus.
C'est bon.
Dash sur
Sur Ezra. Ok.
4 Volvo.
So 1 hit, 2 hits and a focus. Expertise gives him 3. Looks like 2 focuses. No, it's 1 evade plus the 2 evades plus the reinforce. Saves him from that attack.
Non, on mélange. C'est Warwick en premier. Joli.
And
Je vais prendre
there's
Predator.
a focus. That's a crit. There's a lot of glare on the dice today. We've got lots of lights on the table. It's very well lit. Was it focus?
Donne rien.
It must have been a focus. There was a moment where his shadow moved over. It looked like it was a crit.
Deux jolis dés d'attaque.
And there's a
Et
hit.
je prends un stress pour la stress.
And he gets in the R3A2 stress. Looks like he's evaded that.
J'utilise ça pour récupérer mon intensité.
Fin du combat, je le mets sur lui.
Ouais.
Ok.
Right. And they go back to dials. Just in case you're wondering, that big black blob in the bottom center of the screen is the microphone. And we do have here present in person the French versions of the Swords, Renegades and TIE Reaper expansion. And for now they are still shrink wrapped, but I'm trying to convince them to let me open them. We want to see what's inside the box. What's in the box? You know, because if we're going to be playing 1.0, we might as well have something about 2.0. Is it supposed to be out next week? Yeah?
Ok. Reinforce vers l'avant. Ezra. Prendre les stress. Deux banques, c'est un manœuvre, Kyle Pattern, ça me donne un focus. Je vais faire un boost. Et push the limit pour un target lock.
Pour imprimer 2 fois, s'il vous plaît. Vous pouvez imprimer 2 fois, s'il vous plaît. start. See how we get into combat. Dodgy camera angle here. I've got to try and correct that before the next game starts. See, I see a lot of lag on this camera. Messi.
Sur la ok. Et dedans, t'as les deux. Avec une question.
So, the focuses get converted into hits with expertise. Gets two, and a blank. Loses shields from Lorik.
C'est porté. Ok. Ils sont tous portés.
Non, oui. Oui. Nora sur dash. Je vais dépenser le target.
3 hits.
Ok. Et je dépense le focus.
Plus the one for Nora's title or ability. I can't remember which way around it goes. Let me double check. Nora.
Ensuite, Lorik.
Dash.
Oh, no, dash. Oh.
When attacking or defending, you spend the target. Though, because you spend the target on getting extra focus, and because she's got
Dash sur Lorik.
a focus, she was able to change it. Next to Calcutta. Dash is down
Et encore rien.
to 1 shield.
Ça fait 2.
Ça fait 2, ça fait 2. Ok. Ok. Maintenant, Lorik Tier.
Oui.
Maintenant, c'est le temps. C'est assez nul.
C'est ce qui.
Ok. Et Ezra? Oui. Avec mes 2 petits dés. Hop, voilà.
Ça fait 2 dégâts.
Ouais, j'allais te dire, faut jouer aux échecs, au moins t'as pas de dés à lancer. Finalement, ça va mieux.
Fin de combat? Ok.
Je récupère mon intensité.
Ok. J'ai manqué mon...
Oui.
C'est bon, c'est bon.
Je j'avoue, ça m'arrange un petit peu. À peine. Un chouille.
Ça va être un rappel pour la prochaine fois.
You need to really. Well, no, that camera on that angle isn't too bad. I don't know whether or not it makes Nick look really short because he's so far away from the camera, and then he's standing close to the camera. There was one time we had a game in Spain where we had two of the tallest and biggest players in the community, Ander, who's actually playing here today, and Willie playing a game, and at the end of the table was sat Tony Fulgrim, one of my friends, who's actually he's a bit of a shorter guy, and it made him look like a total hobbit because the camera's got like a fisheye lens on it to make sure I can capture as much of the players as possible. Everyone complains about the quality of this camera, and yes, their complaints are completely founded, but it comes down to the fact that getting the two players on the one camera with a normal lens camera is very difficult. And of course this has to be a USB webcam to do this second camera, otherwise second camera angle, otherwise it's just no, it's just this camera is like really sensitive to the brightness. I mean, if you've watched the streams from the System Open series, you can go back to see the Birmingham System Open series, and you'll see that this camera was really dark there. It's just really susceptible to lighting conditions because it's not a high quality camera, but it is a webcam, a USB webcam that has a wide angle lens on it, which, like I say, and it's the only one. There is a new one that I have to try. There's a new webcam that I want to get hold of, but it's gonna cost like €200. And basically, with all the travelling I've been doing these last couple of months, none of the Patreon money's been being saved up. It's all been going to doing events, and there's not really been much help. So I'm hoping now, I'm hoping now that is it charged? Yes. I'm hoping now that I'm going to have a couple of months where there's no real events. Obviously, in August I'm not going to be able to do the events I wanted to do in August because it's difficult with family visiting around that time, and the cost of flights was just prohibitively expensive, especially in my case where I have to take a suitcase. I have to take hold luggage with me, and that was just sending it. Some of the prices I was looking at to do, for example, the ETC in Croatia was €600 as a minimum right now, and I couldn't commit to that. There was some possibility that there was a lot of interest for me. There's always been a lot of interest from me to do the ETC, but it's just always, well, for example, in Athens, it was just at a time when I couldn't take time off in August. Last year with Salamanca was basically the perfect opportunity, but I just lost my job. I had no money. I couldn't permit going cross country for that. And lastly, and then this year I really wanted to go, but it's just so expensive to fly to somewhere like Croatia for the first weekend in August. It was just ridiculously prohibitive. And then on top of that, I had to take care of accommodation costs and food and drink while I was there. And whilst I had been in contact with the organisational team from the ETC, I hadn't needed to. They had been as cooperative as I could possibly hope for. I've not got the damage correct on Dash while I was talking. There's always a risk when I go somewhere new, like it was last year when I came here in August. Everything just ended up going wrong for me. I also got it wrong on Lorik. Everything went wrong for me that weekend. Why I couldn't put my finger on any one thing that caused it. It ended up being a whole bunch of stuff that happened, and eventually I just ended up giving up and just letting it be what it was. So traveling to new places and new venues where you're not sure how the internet works or what you're going to face when you get there as far as setup's concerned is always very difficult. And so in the end I had to turn around and say to the organisational team of the ETC and say, look, I'm sorry I can't make it. But I did give them some names of some people who I knew would be going and would possibly be able to set up some kind of stream to kind of work together with those. So I do understand there's a possibility that there will still be a stream at the ETC. And then with UK Nationals, once again, being in August, it's very difficult because I have family visiting around that time. And it's going to make it very difficult for me to go. So I don't believe I'm going to be going to UK Nationals either. Once again, obviously, the support from the Patreon page is instrumental to me being able to make these tournaments. But as I'm mentioning now, some of the hardware that is required can be expensive. So like I was saying now, that there's a new webcam that does like a 4K picture quality, very good USB 3.0 webcam, which would basically be giving me what I'd need. But it's expensive. It's going to cost about €200. So every single penny that does go to that Patreon helps with regards to travelling to these tournaments, my food costs, my parking, petrol in the airports, everything. The Patreon money has been instrumental to making sure this year I've been able to cover 5 of the 6 System Open events in Europe. And it's all thanks to the people like typical Kiwi NZ, who's in chat right now, is one of the most prominent figures in the Patreon, and I always give him my complete thanks, and everyone on the Patreon page for all the help they give me. It's difficult. One of the things, I want to do more rewards, but it's very difficult to do so just due to the fact of how much I'm spending. So I have to be very careful, and I want to get another reward cycle going this summer. But then also, it kind of the 2.0 stuff kind of threw me for a loop a bit. I had a very bad day on Wednesday where I kind of messed around with kind of card art and trying to come up with something 2.0 that was like distinctive enough and that I liked enough, and I wasn't happy, and I ended up losing my temper with it and had a bit of a bad day after that. So it looks like a focus result from Nora. No damage done.
Dash, oui. Range 2.
Sur Lorik.
And it's going 1, 2, 3 hits with expertise. And looks like an evade. A lot of shine on those dice. So he's got the 3 hits. Spends the reinforce.
Non, ça fait 2.
He takes 2. Lower it down to 3 hull points now.
Ouais, ça c'est range 2.
Ouais.
Range 2. Non. Range 2 Ezra. Ouais. Je vais prendre un stress pour y mettre un stress. Let's ça donne
2
absolument
focus
rien.
results. No good.
C'est dommage.
Ok. Feuille de combat.
Ouais, l'intensité.
Ok.
C'est combien de parties?
So obviously the Poe's pulled out that 4K to try and come about. I think what he's doing here is he wants to make sure that
J'ai oublié que je
He's
pouvais mettre
got-
le stress sur,
he wants to take out Lorik and then maybe come around and use Dash as a blocker on Ezra and Nora.
Non, non, mais j'étais.
While Nora and Ezra try to stay at range 1. So yeah, obviously with the summer coming up now, 1.0, and as I've just said, going to tournaments in August is probably a no-go, because there's also the Polish National. I really wanted to go to the Polish National, and then they went and set it up in Europe in August. And the thing is that we're talking 1.0 tournaments, and we've got Swords Renegade and TIE Reaper about to land, so maybe that'll mix stuff up, but I don't know if they're going to do a FAQ. I don't know, I get the impression that they're just kind of like, just going to let it wither on the vine now that 2.0 is on its way. And also this weekend's Ohio as well, huh? So yeah, the 1.0 tournaments are like, it's just kind of not that I'm completely off them. I enjoy them. I enjoy coming here. I enjoy doing this. But I don't know. It's just like as time goes on, as we know more about 2.0, once we start getting to August, by the time we get around to UK nationals and Polish nationals, there will be 2.0 in public hands after Gen Con weekend, and so. I don't know, I just feel, I mean, I understand with the UK nationals, they were 100% sure it should come to the Australian nationals. With UK nationals, they had it planned pretty much since last year's nationals. After September, they were already planning the UK nationals, and they had this vote on the group and whether on which venue, which dates it should be. And they ended up going for the August bank holiday weekend, or it was either going to be that or the first weekend in September, so 2.0 wouldn't have been a thing anyway. But with the Polish nationals, I was a bit disappointed. I was like, come on, let's wait till October. Let's wait till November. There's no rush to do this stuff. The next World Championship isn't until October 2019. You can do your 2018 National Championship in October, and then have your 2019 one in August or maybe even March. You know, assuming they're available by then. Shout out to Canada. But yeah, so anyway, it just seemed like a shame more than anything else. I mean, the problem is that, and I've gone around today and I've been asking names, and now this has been 5 System Open Series events now. And we are seeing the same lists at every single one. Dash Poe here. We've got. This is a little bit of a variation on Nora, Shifapede, Lorik, but still, it's still a 100-point ace list. There's a lot of similarity. There are very few. There's very little creativity. I can see a Fire Spray and Nim just across the way from me. I'm not sure if they're on the same team. And so it's difficult. There's a lot of high-level players here as well. I mean, last minute, a lot of the UK players are signed up, because it's not that hard to get over here. It takes about the same amount of effort as it does for me to get to Barcelona. And so obviously we've got X-Wings and TIE Reapers, and you know, maybe someone will decide to play a U-Wing at some point, but who knows? I doubt it. But I don't know how well. You know, we don't know. No one knows really. I mean, it's kind of like you can kind of think about it and project, but who knows? Within the next couple of weeks, we'll know the Swords Renegades and the TIE Reaper land first 2.0 stuff will start being in public hands. Just a question of waiting to see what we're looking at. It's a difficult time for X-Wing, basically, is what I'm trying to get across. It's very difficult. It's like the podcasts and the vlogs and stuff like that. It's like, well, how much do I write about? You know, how can you sit there? Can you write? Should you write a blog post? You know, talking about how to fly E-wings now in 1.0 when you got 2.0. You know, how much effort should you put into everything? It's difficult. It's a very difficult time because you just don't know to what point it's worth. It's worth. It's worth your time. It sounds like the podcast is saying the same thing. They're like, you know, we don't want to. They're all focused. Everyone's focusing on 2.0 stuff now because there's just nothing to be done or talked about in 1.0 with the situation that we have. Because everyone's looking forward. It's not to say that like there's nothing in 1.0, but when you know you've got 2.0 on the way, it's kind of hard. And I've put a lot. I've already been doing some work into getting the 2.0 stuff ready for the stream. I'm trying to work. I've got to work out. I don't like the fact that they've made ID tokens mandatory for all ships. Not at all. Because as you know from watching the stream, you can't see ID tokens. So I've got my little things where I put little coloured donuts on the pegs. I've kind of got that, and I'm working on a target lock system that's a lot more visual to go with that and stuff like that. So there's definitely work being done with regards to the stream and 2.0 to try and get ready as soon as possible and to hit the ground running with that. What will be the first 2.0 tournament that I can attend? I'm not 100% sure. There is a Spanish national tournament on the second weekend of October. We've got our bank. There's a bank holiday on the 12th of October in Spain, which is a Friday if I'm right. Let me tell you what it is. This is all. Okay, October. Yeah, the 12th is a Friday, so that's a bank holiday. So they've made it a whole weekend, and all the Star Wars National Championships will be taking place on that weekend. So they're going to have the ability to play X-Wing, and they kind of split it up. It's been a really interesting format then. And I give 100% support to this new kind of format they've kind of worked out, where they will be running 4 rounds of X-Wing on Friday morning. The first 4 rounds of Swiss will be on Friday morning. Then they will do in the afternoon, they will do the four rounds of Imperial Assault. So you can turn up on Friday and you can sign up and play Imperial Assault National and X-Wing National the same day. Then depending on how that goes, on the Saturday morning they will do the last 2 rounds of Imperial Assault and X-Wing. So if you've got a good record, you can keep going, play some keep competing with your X-Wing or Imperial Assault, depending on which one you've done best at and which one you think you've got your best chances at. And then after that will be the Destiny Championship in the afternoon, the Destiny National Championship, and then they'll start doing the tops from the various tournaments on the Sunday. So you'll be able to play X-Wing, Imperial Assault, and Destiny National Championships if you want to. If you're also inclined, you can play all 3. Obviously, you'll notice I'm not talking about Armada. You got 2 hits from Dash. No, not from Dash, from Poe. Or Lorik. 2 hits. And an evade. And a focus. Yeah, suspends the focus. So now Dash should attack Lorik.
Nora sur Dash.
Nora's going first. She's not got Lorik at range 1. C'est with the red player, yeah?
Sans modification, 50-50, c'est... ça fait 2.
Yeah. 2 more damage cards on Dash, down to 2 hull points. And Dash fires on Lorik, gets a hit and a focus. He's stressed though, so expertise means he only gets the 1 though. And it goes through.
dash dans Loric. Tacticien.
Tacticien.
Because Loric. Didn't use his reinforce for 1 damage card.
Oh boy.
There's some bad dice results on this round, but it's ticking away the damage on dash down to 1.
Non, c'est juste, je compte pas les cartes de dégâts, alors je demandais si c'est... oui. Ok. 1 sur dash et fin de la...
Je récupère l'intensité.
Si, ok.
And they're back to Dars.
Parlant de des choses...
As I said, there are French copies of the Thai Reaper and the Swords Renegades expansion here, and we're waiting for authorization to see if I'm allowed to open them live.
J'espère que je ferai assez de damage sur dash, mais...
Ah, c'est pas passé loin. C'est vraiment pas passé loin.
I don't understand how Eddy isn't sweating in that sweatshirt. I've got my sweatshirt with me, and every time I put it on, I just turn into soup. Is George playing the Thunderbird Lowfall? Hang on a sec. Yeah, so George is playing, I don't know which part it is, I don't really pay attention. He's got his Thunderbird 2 VCX 100 and the Phantom modified to be Thunderbird 4 and an Azituk modified to be a Airwolf helicopter.
J'ai fait un 3K. Ça me joue comme ça.
Merci.
So once again, Nora and Ezra between them just kind of trying to make sure they block up Dash's green maneuvers. Definitely a mistake not bringing Dash with Kanan or Guile on this one, with Kanan. And just keep hammering him until it down. He actually, Nick would have preferred to get Dash off the table that round, but he's managed to scrape away with 1 whole point, which means he's still got to block him up and take him down. I would have maybe thought it wasn't really necessary to cause a block in this round. Just he's got 2 stress tokens. Just let him choose his 1 maneuver and get off of it. But anyway, maybe he's looking for a better positional game against Poe, and it just ends up being a coincidence that better positional game is to block Dash as well. So Dash manages to get away. Just push the limit and engine upgrades for boost. Maybe trying to block Poe instead. 3 straight or 3 turn to the left. It's hard to tell from the dial. It's got to be 3 straight then because he's barrel rolling with BB-8. So he's going to do a 3 straight green.
Non, c'est bon, ça rentre. Juste, mais...
Je vais faire intensité.
Ok.
Oh, let me change this brightness so it's not running out my battery.
3 de l'avant.
Oh, it still bumps. That's a good thing. It means that he can still... Now here's the thing, so he wants to fire on Lorik with Poe. Do those last 2 hits of damage on Lorik. Lorik seems to be reinforced front, and he's in this front arc, so it makes no difference there.
Juge.
Judge?
On va voir si Poe est dans l'arrière ou l'avant de l'autre. Oh, wow. Officiel, là.
Look at it on this camera.
À l'avant.
Tant mieux. Oui, c'est pas grand chose. Bon, on va sur le coup, je vais la créer.
Sur le coup, non.
So 2 hits and a crit from Poe on Lorik. Blank takes the 2 to take him off the board, meaning that Dash has got the ability to try and take fire on... Who would be your best option here? R2-D2's on Nora, so you don't really want her to run off and start regenerating. But she's only got 1 green versus Ezra's 2. And Ezra's stressed, so his ability will kick in. So anyway, 2 hits from Nora. Takes 1 and Dash dies. So wasn't going to be it. Looks like he's got a... What's that one? Damaged engine? No, damaged engine, no. Loose stabilizer.
Du coup, il va quand même tirer. Il va tirer aussi, il était blessé.
Oui.
Peut-être P2, c'est
de deux, si on en a. Ok.
Allez, ça faisait 2.
Man, loose stabilizer.
Ça, c'est 2 dommages.
Dash got a loose stabilizer. It's basically the same as Jack Hawkins died. So Dash is just going, I can hold it, I can hold it. And Ezra behind him going.
Alors, Tyron, ici, je vais prendre un stress pour donner un autre stress à Paul.
Now R3A2 applying stress to Poe from Ezra. That was Nora. It was Nora firing out the back arc, not Ezra. It was Nora going.
Vector thrusters.
Prime thrusters.
Vector thrusters, c'est l'autre. Oh, oui. Ok. Alors, c'est 3D plus auto thrusters et toute cette affaire.
C'est ça.
C'est ça. Alors, c'était seulement pour te donner un stress. Alors, 2D. Peut-être, ça se peut.
Ça se peut.
Non.
2 hits, he gets a bunch of blanks.
C'est pas facile, hein.
Ok, et voilà.
No damage, looks like no damage in that. That's not the point now. Ezra's got the ability to start stressing Poe, making sure he's not going to be able to turn around.
Merci.
So I think, I don't know, how would you rate this? How would you put... Oh no, here goes my thing. I'm losing my microphone stand, hang on. Okay, crisis averted. Or maybe not, it's still moving. This table has got an uneven bottom and a curved top, so it's just kind of, my mic clamps are just kind of sliding off. So yeah, so what would, I don't know, I'm not quite sure how I'd take this. Poe with auto thrusters versus Ezra and Nora. The problem is that Ezra's got arc on Poe and will just keep stressing him. So Poe has to pull a maneuver, like for example in this case, a free turn right, using his prime thrusters to be able to boost as well.
C'est pas comme il va avoir en action le restant du match, non.
Ça va pas changer grand chose.
To be able to escape arc a little bit more, just try and make sure he can get away from a position where Ezra can just keep stressing him every single time.
Focus. Et je vais faire comme action. Je vais faire de focus.
Signal So he's obviously greened. Stay there. If you're not in arc of Ezra, you won't get that stress token this turn. Nora's got Tactician? No, she's just got Carpenter. Okay, it was low at Tactician. Yeah, I don't know. Personally, I wouldn't have tried to clear the stress that turn. I'd have tried to get away from Ezra as much as possible. Just having, like I said, like a free turn right, using the prime thrusters to boost, and then proceed to harass Nora from the other side of the board, waiting for Ezra, who's stressed as it is, to just kind of hobble himself round. At least that's what I would have done.
Under 15 minutes left in the round. 15 minutes left in the round.
Ouais.
Shiny dice. One hit, 2 hits. Too much now. Loses shields on Nora. All of them in one go.
Okay, Nora.
No, she must have already lost one. And there's a focus, and a hit, and a crit. Uses the focus to turn it into 2 hits and a crit. Gets a Vade. Loses 2 shields on Poe Dameron.
Et en espérant qu'il y a quelque chose. Non.
J'ai fait exprès.
En espérant.
On a le droit.
Oui. Fin de combat?
Fin de combat.
Ah oui, ouais. Ah oui, ouais. Quand bah, là, je te dis, attends,
I mean, I think things are against Eddy in this case. I think Nick's been showing a much better positional game. It's a difficult one to call, to be honest, because you're talking about if Poe can just solo Nora now, then there's not much to go for as far as Ezra's concerned. Ezra can't do much against Poe. Nick needs to get both ships involved actively in the match. And actively firing on Poe. So he's obviously going to try and bring. This is what's called like the what do they call it? The fighter pilots that had that helix maneuver where they just kind of cross each other's paths the whole time to make sure they were giving their wingman the opportunity to eliminate anybody that might get on their tail.
Non.
Ça me dérange pas, mais.
Okay.
Black one.
So BB8. So it's got to be one bank left. He once again he's not firing. He's not got. He's at range 1 here, so we're looking at 4 dice into Nora's rear end. And like I say, if he can keep that up and just make sure to solo Nora by himself, then Ezra versus Poe isn't going to be difficult for Eddy. Justin gets 3 hits with expertise and a blank. Nora rolls focus, spends focus, evades 1, takes 2. Nora fires back, gets 3 dice for range 1 at the rear arc, gets like I said 2 crits with 1 evade, takes the last shield. Back to dials again. So yeah, it's working out. That was a pretty good round for Eddy, Jessen, Dubos. If he can just make sure he gets 1 more round without Ezra getting involved, I mean that asteroid makes it pretty difficult for Ezra to do a 1 bank left to pursue. Just have to wait and see. Yeah, so if I just quickly switch back. So yeah, if Ezra was to 1 bank, he'd probably end up here, huh? Something like that. So he's probably not that big of a deal. He won't get anywhere near the asteroid. And depending on, we'd want Nora to go this way. He's not stressed right now, but he does like taking advantage of that BB-8 repositional effect. So he's going to want to go barrel roll in this direction to avoid the asteroid. Unless... So let's say... Okay, so reset this. Okay, so let's say Nora doesn't want to come round in this direction because she wants to make sure that she's keeping Poe in Ezra's arc. Okay, well, that makes things a lot more complicated. A 2-turn left from Ezra, and Nora to the left as well would be my guess. A 1 bank left is kind of, it's in the direction she didn't want to go right. She didn't want to be drawing him away from, didn't want to be drawing Poe away from Ezra. She want the only way that Nick can win this game is if he's getting shots from both his ships onto Poe. Target locking, maybe, maybe not, unknown.
Non, c'est bon.
T'arrives à jouer à 100 mètres, à jouer Nicolas.
Nope, just focuses to keep himself unstressed. Assuming he's going to make it through this round. So I'm guessing we've got a 3 straight. Barrel roll right left. Yeah, I'm guessing it's a 3 straight from Poe. Barrel rolling to the left. Going to get himself into that. Range 1 will be out of arc of Nora. Oh no, just one straight. Wow. Okay. Okay, out of Nora's arc, so only receiving fire from the Ezra, but this could see, I would hope the 3 straight to be able to get at range 1 and obliterate her with that final 4 dice attack. So 1 hit, 2 focuses, spends the focus from intensity, gets 3. Nora gets a focus, spends, so it takes 2, stays on the board with 2 hull points left. Oh no, he's only taking 1.
Rien ici, peut-être. Oui, juste, ça rentre.
Okay.
Et pourquoi pas?
One focus result. No good there from Ezra. But does use R382 to stress Poe, making things a little bit more difficult. Just under 5 minutes to go in this round. So now Nora's going to have to put in a 2 turn to the left. All he's got to do is keep Nora on the board. If Poe destroys Nora, Eddy wins on points. So he's got to keep Nora alive for 5 more minutes. 4 more minutes now. And as my clock on the screen is not 100% accurate, it's based on a system script. So right now it's coming up to about par with the actual round timer. The round time is 3:23. Okay, Ezra 2 turn right. No, he goes left. Oh, that's not what I would have done. You want to try and keep pressure on Poe here. You don't want to give Poe any easy choices. That position is going to work out well for Nora because Poe can't 4K here. Yeah, I'm not. But I'm really not a fan of having it. It's good. If he can get 2 shots on Poe a turn, then there's a chance he might just nick a couple of damage off this turn, maybe 1 more in the final round. But he needs to ensure So Poe is gonna barrel roll right. Barrel roll right. Do a. I don't care. You're stressed. Do a 2-turn maneuver, and then try and boost to get back around and get arc. Oh no! Oh no! That's not gonna fit. Going left is not gonna fit. So Poe chooses not to barrel roll.
Oh non, oui, non, c'est bon. Il y avait un stress, le verre est tombé, oui, ok. Alors.
Vas-y, allez-moi.
So another damage card goes onto Poe there. 1 more. Not got the arc for Ezra. This is going to be the final round now as they go back to dials. Now, depending, Mr. Dameron is stressed, so he's not going to be able to come around. He's not going to be able to get Arc on Nora, and if that's the case, then Nick has managed to put off of keeping Nora alive for the final round and winning this first round. The Western Atlantic interloper wins his first match of the System Open Series. Ezra 2 turns right. Nora, did she move? Oh, here we go. Focuses and target. Focuses and does something else, push the limit. Focus target lock. And maybe he can actually take Poe off the board here for the extra MOV. Nah, Poe's a good one. Yeah, there's no combat this round. Ya está, that's the end of the game. C'est parti. Nick wins 124 to 76. Bonjour Eddy, Jacin. Bonjour. Ah, ouais. Okay. So first round. Okay. You've gone on stream. A bit nervous?
A little.
A little, huh? Did you think it was a good matchup for you? Pashto, Po Dash?
Oh, not good, not too bad, I think. It's very interesting play game.
Yeah, there was a chance towards the end where you only had to just get one more shot off on Nora to just take her off the board, and you just weren't able to stick that damage on, and that ended up being what kept her alive and gave Nick the game. So there was a point where it wasn't 100% sure who was going to win, and you had a lot of luck with positioning that Ezra wasn't able to get back into the fight so much, so he wasn't able to stress you in the last 25 minutes of the game. No. So well done on that respect. You have a couple more rounds to go. Okay. What do you think? What do you think your chances for the rest of the tournament? Do you think you're going to make it to stage 2?
Oh, I think I can go to the phase 2. Yes.
Yeah. Do you have to win? How many do you have to lose to make it? You can't lose more than 2. Is it? I can't remember. It's because it's been about a month since I've done one. But I know that if stage 2 is it's round 4, 5, 6. Yeah. And then if you're at the end of round 4, 5, 6, if you're 5 and 1, then you go on to the stage 3 tomorrow. Okay. So I think really you can't lose any more games to be able to keep competing. But even so, you're here to play. Yeah. And there's hangar bays and hyperspace tomorrow as well. And you're here representing Brest.
Yes.
No. What does it say here? Le Ajo?
Yeah. It's a shop we play where we play
in Brest, huh?
In Brest, yes.
Okay, cool. So shout out to those guys. Anything you'd like to say in French? If you want to give a quick message in French to how you felt the game went.
Bonjour à tous. Comment dire?
Oui.
Je passe un petit coucou à tout le monde, tous les joueurs, et amusez-vous. C'est un jeu, faut se faire plaisir. Que ce soit la V1 ou la V2, on est là pour s'amuser et pour prendre du bon temps.
Ah, très bien. Merci beaucoup. Thanks. Vale. Ok, Okay, Nick, well done.
Thank you,
for
thank
winning
you.
your first game of the System Open series. This is your first System Open series. You were telling me
Yeah,
earlier.
correct. This is the first time. Yep.
So that's the first one won. You just got 2 more to go before you reach stage 2.
And then 2 more after that, and then a whole day tomorrow.
The idea is to reach the goal. So you've got stage 2 first. Let's just try and make sure we get through to stage 2, and then tomorrow's something else. So just wait and see how that happens. So anyway, Pash Do. I've said that like 5 times. Po Dash. Is it a good matchup for you with that list, or?
Well, I've flown Dash Nor a lot, so I kind of know what Dash does, and I kind of focused on Dash to begin with because I knew if Nora versus Poe in the end game, my Nora is worth more than Poe, so if I could keep that alive and do something with Dash, that was kind of my main focus.
Cool. Okay, wicked. And did you? There was a point towards the last 25 minutes of the game where it was possible that it wouldn't quite have worked out for you so well, and you had to try and completely leverage the positional game of keeping Nora out of Poe's arc, and those last 2 turns especially, where it was a very touch and go as to whether or not you were going to be able to make sure that you weren't receiving any damage. It was only really getting Ezra back involved in the game to be able to put one stress on Poe to prevent that 4K or Talon roll from really getting you into a situation where you would have lost the game.
Yeah, and it's just making sure that all the pieces are.
Right,
sorry, there we go.
No, it's all right. It's all right. We can hear you anyway. But I just figured out.
It's just kind of making sure all the pieces are going where they're supposed to go, and I was a bit surprised that he left the shuttle. That he focused down on Lorik first and left the shuttle there, because in the end game, just pouring out the stress. I mean, Lorik, if Poe gets behind Lorik, it's pretty easy enough to take out. So I was, that was just my thing, but I was lucky, and
I figured he's kind of worked out if he gets rid of Nora and Lorik, then he's 1 on points. Yeah. And I think that was kind of his. Obviously, he wants to take down Lorik because that's the force multiplier. That's what takes away damage from the other 2. And then after that, it's a question of Nora to be able to win on points. And he came close.
He came close. It was, it, like you said, it was touch and go at the end, and it was a choice between, I was trying to make sure, I was playing with the target lock and doing the stress, kind of with the R2-D2 regen, and just the combination of everything, but moving it around so that I could kind of put myself somewhere where I was keeping that pressure on him and forcing him to make the best move he could possibly can, and just waiting for that, waiting for the little slip-ups, and then using the debris and the obstacles in there in the end game.
Okay. What do you think? So you've come over from Canada. We talked about this. Do you want to give a quick shout out to your people at home, your local store?
Yeah, fantastic. Well, in the Ottawa area, we got about 5 local stores, but mainly Boutique Fer de Bataille and the Kessel Run. Bytown Smugglers, that's kind of our squadron down there. And a big shout out to the people in Toronto with the PTL League, because they also do a lot of things on our end.
Yeah, I've seen their streams.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, well,
thank you very much. I'm going to go ahead to my next match.
Okay.
Cheers.
Good
Very great meeting you.